So it's prep time over now. Yes. So welcome to the second round of Jiminy Cup 2013. My name is Rai from the ICU, and I'll be the chair of this round today. So on the motion, this task will include graphic images of the process and consequence of the abortion in the teaching of sex education in public school. And yeah, venue is so magnificent, so please do a good debate. So on the affirmative we have YCUB, on the negative we have Sophia A. So firstly I'd like to invite the Prime Minister to open this debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of this House, Mr. Speaker, today many young students don't know seriousness of abortion by seriousness of abortion, and by lacking of the knowledge, by lacking of recognition of serious of abortion. Many young citizens try to sexual act, and sometimes they become they possibly should be abortion, so they pregnant. So this is harm. So to minimize abortion, we proudly support this motion. Firstly, I behind today's motion. Firstly, in this debate, all liberal democratic country, this motion work, and process and consequence means that the movie include movie in the treatment mother shout or crying, and the children's head crushed by press, include this serious situation, and move on. Our point.
Clarification.
Okay.
Are you happy to actively deter citizens to do abortion in education?
Okay. So I'll explain later and move on our point. We have 2 points. First point is philosophical point. This motion's about this motion's necessity, and second point, practical point, how abortion minimized, under the statistical problem, and how abortion minimized. Move on philosophical point. We believe this motion strongly needed. I say today's context. Today, younger students abortion increasing. As I said before, because of lack of knowledge, how seriousness of abortion. But on the other hand, there is many stimulus thing or adult video or adult products and so on. So students provoked to do sexual act today. But education can't such. Education fell behind of this education. Today's education only textbook or pamphlet. Only show sentence of patient or only students say only word or hard. Intangible, students only have intangible seriousness under the school, and this connects to lack of recognition of seriousness. So students have no defense power to do sexual crime and unused condom and so on. So they become pregnant. So pregnant, and but government should protect citizen life and to protect to prevent dangerous choice. Government should give education for students, and this is consensus. So government is actor to prevent abortion. So we proudly support and move on practical point. Under the status quo, as I said before, students know abortion seriousness only see sentence or how abortion do or patient voice sentence, but students can't get seriousness because they don't experience abortion never. But teacher satisfies this kind of surface education satisfies. So, but as I said before, students don't have seriousness. So this education, today's education, can't work to stop sexual act. To stop sexual act and not use. So students do sexual act and not use condom. So they sometimes become pregnant. But after taking this proposal, there's serious graphic show for citizen. Mother shouted by treatment hard and children's head pressed. So this serious situation. Student, by seeing this, student no pregnant is so hard thing and abortion means kill baby. Students no. So abortion. So students feel reality for abortion. So students know if not use condom and sexual crime, the abortion so students not to choice not to do sexual act and use condom. So we proudly support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you for the Prime Minister's speech. So, nextly, I'd like to invite the Leader of Opposition for SPA.
What we heard from the side of the house is that in the name of education, the government can brainwash the children not to abortion in the first place. We don't think the active intervention of the government towards individual body should not be legitimate in this occasion. So in this sense, we are very proud to oppose this proposal. Firstly, several rebuttals to their side of the house. So what we heard from their side of the house, actually there is a mismatch between the solution and the problem they are proposing, right? Actually, the root cause of the problem they are proposing, if websites or some kind of mini pornography in the first place, they say, due to the influence from this kind of pornography, the website, some kind of porno website, the main people are influenced and they commit, sex without using condom or sexual crime and so on and so forth. Then if that's a problem, we have to ban pornography, we have to ban this website, because that is a root cause of the problem, what we heard from the other side of the house. And more than that, considering the, use sex without using condom and so on and so forth, yes, we are more than happy to distribute condom in the school and force them to wear in the first place. And more than that, the sexual crime or something, yeah, we are more than happy to reconsider the function of the police not to that situation will happen. And if every kind of analysis is standing, is that we have to teach sex and in front of the class, and the teachers have to commit sex, and because that is kind of graphic image, right? But where you draw a line? Actually, they never draw a line on that point. That is a burden of truth, their side of the house. Two things. First of all, what is the actual meaning of the public education? And secondly, why this proposal impede and this graphic, how these graphic images impede the autonomous choice of the individual. But so first of all, so we think that the meaning of public school is to set the fair ground for individuals to decide their own agency to live in a society. So that's why we think that something that makes citizens one-sided should not include in education, as long as no absolute judgment toward something exists in the first place. We think that seeing the graphic image that genocide is evil is fine, but concerning the abortion, it is quite controversial, right? There is no absolute value judgment on that in current situation in the first place. That's why we think that education without using graphic image is really important to make the rational calculation. And more than that, they say lack of the information is a problem or things like that. And some people irrationally rush to the abortion or things like that. That's bullshitly wrong in the first place. In the first place, in educative function, we can teach that why abortion is risky, how the abortion is risky without using graphic image, and it is already done in the first place. And more than that, the doctor is obliged to explain how kind of risk will happen, and more than that, she herself have the accessibility to get the information concerning the website and so on and so forth. More than that, these women do have the incentive to access that information concerning the existence of risk in the future, or in that point, we think they have the incentive to consider what extent of harm damage her life. And more than that, the parents will consider their daughter and her life and deter her if that is really irrational in the first place. From the beginning, there's no problem in current situation. Then, how this proposal impede the autonomous decision what today's opposition want to protect? First of all, the sensitiveness of the first reason is sensitivity of the children. They are easy to be appealed by strong remarks, strong images, right? Just they see the image of the wall. There are some cases that these children get the PTSD just because they see the image of the wall in that situation. And more than that, the strong impression of the graphic image uniquely. Considering the difference between the novel and the movies, yes, considering the novel of Star Wars, it is not interesting, right? Because that is not dynamic. But considering the movie, the Star Wars, because it is very dynamic and can express with the emphasis of the globality of the action that is really dynamically seen for us. And more than that, the grotesqueness of this specific image, flood of the blood or dead body of the fetus or distorted head as they analyze. These are really grotesque, and these are really sensational. Then more than the continuous education through the more than 6 years in schools, right? Then in that situation, we think they are continuously brainwashed and deterred to commit abortion in that situation. They might say, the education would be fair or something, but considering the characteristic of the children, they are appealed to that kind of dangerous images rather than these fair, statement of the statement to support the abortion in the first place. They have to watch these sensational images every day and through the whole education through the 6 years. They are forced to see they are forced to see the consequence of the abortion. Only the negative image is implanted into the brain, and emphasis of the list are still continue in their mind even after their graduation. And on that situation, the women cannot calculate what exact treat they want. Even when in the case, for example, they are late and they are forced to face the situation where they have to decide whether she abort or not. In that situation, she cannot calculate what exactly she wants to do in that situation. Even if she has to get the baby, they are forced to get the baby and they are forced to bring up their child without any autonomous decision of herself. And more than that, even if she would do abortion, they have to feel the total fairness due to this brainwashed education. We think that's bad. It is not autonomously made feeling, and we don't think that cannot be legitimate. For those reasons, I beg to oppose.
Now, I'd like to move on to the deputy speakers. Firstly, I'd like to invite Deputy Prime Minister Suzuki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Ladies and members of the House. Today's our stance is very clear. The understanding school, the range of information about abortion is only textbook, but only language or only one. We have to extend this range of information that telling to students not only word but also the graphic. So we proudly, because as my partner mentioned before, we have to give more impact we have to give more information about dangerousness to students. So we proudly propose the motion. First of all, I heard what the speaker has said. The previous speaker has said, first of all, governments don't have to interpret controversial issue. However, that's not true, or that is irrelevant of this motion because the under the scope already the government give information on the textbook about the abortion. Why only graphic is interpretation to controversial issue? This is same as the under the stethoscope because under the stethoscope only the words about the information of abortion. The after proposal not only information about words and the information of the graphic information. Therefore, from aspect of interpretation, the difference is only the graphic or not. Why graphic is not okay? They never ever explain this point. So, however, we have to, this difference is only range. Therefore, we have to give this information. The second of all, as a rematter, I want to distinguish what is mental harm and what is this case of impact. So let's go first of all, mental harm. Mental harm is for example, in the movie, if the killer kill others in movie, to punch very drastically, it is a very fear. And then if it is very drastically, we have to ban. Because in this point, this purpose is to give fear. Of course, receiver know it. Therefore, receiver consider this expression as a fear. So, fear can be the mental harm. And therefore, this occurs the PTSD and so on. Therefore, we have to ban to protect citizens. However, this kind of graphic is totally different. First of all, because students can consider this graphic as a text, as a part of education. First reason, that like telling mathematics, or like telling the English, and so on, teacher tell about this information to them. Therefore, students consider this graphic same as the mathematics or English and so on. Because this is one of the class. And moreover, next to them, there is the other student is sitting next to them. Therefore, the situation is totally same as other class. Therefore, they can consider as this is text. This is the only consequence. Therefore, clearly, the situation is different. Therefore, they don't get the mental harm. So let's move on. My reconstruction.
Before that,
yes.
do you think the children can recognize the sex in front of the class, for example, as a way of education?
Yes, of course, yes. Because even under the school, on the textbook, there is sex information already under the school. Therefore, the same way, students consider them. So let's move on my reconstruction. They point out the root cause and consequence is mismatch. However, as my partner mentioned before, the very general root cause. General root cause is the provoking by the website and so on. However, today we have to focus on the student because this student characterizes students. The student's main root cause is the lack of education because the sphere of education is only way for children to know about sex information. Therefore, in school, there is only way to tell about sex information in the school. So we can solve this root cause. So let's move on. My enhancement. As I mentioned before that, we have to give more impact about abortion. First reason, as the evidence under the status quo, abortion by younger is increasing now. That to me, as I mentioned before that is lack of education. So we have to increase the education. This is clearly necessity. So second reason, abortion is avoidable and harmful choice. Avoidable because if you get the condom when sex, you can avoid. And it is harmful because by abortion, the mother have a chance to get any damage. That means mother have a chance to lose second chance to give a baby. It is clearly harm. So this kind of harmful information, we have to give information. We have to tell about this harmful information for citizens, first of all, on the first level. So there is philosophically, we have to do so. So let's move on my point. And the score, there is the four analysis. Under that score, students have low ability to imagine about dangerousness because they are immature. So even if they get information on the world, they cannot imagine how serious it is, and so on. Therefore, and moreover, they have no incentive to know about dangerousness of abortion because, as I mentioned before, they are few experience about sexual action. Therefore, they have no necessity to know about the harm of the sex action. Therefore, and moreover, it is unrealistic even if they get information on the textbook. So they do abortion, and not only them, but also the family or teacher gets mental harm by this choice. However, as a proposal, we can solve this problem as I mentioned before. Therefore, they can get new choice to avoid this kind of abortion. Therefore, clearly benefit. So we proudly propose the motion. Thank you for.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to move on to the Deputy Leader of Opposition. Now I'd like to move on to the Deputy Leader of Opposition.
We believe today's new information, new education, it's like an image, right? We think this is an extremely strong impact and extremely influencing to these weak, sensitive children. What we believe is that this deter these children to make choices because this is too fairness, this is too impressive. We believe that our side is going to protect the choice of children to take abortion or not, because the importance of abortion is different to person to person. So that's why we believe that we oppose this motion today. So I'm going to explain two things in my speech. First of all, I want to explain the after plan, right? How after take is run. This image crowds the rationality of children and how children will less likely to more likely to get difficult to take abortion and how this is bad. And lastly, I want to explain how in the status quo this rational calculus is guaranteed and how this is important. So before that, I'd like to refute this entire page. First of all, about the problem, right? The problem that they gave us, like they don't use condom and they have sex. Well, that's a problem using condom, right? We can give another education, for example, providing condom, or we give more education about the importance of condom, etc. And we think that can be solved their problem in the first place. And the premise of the affirmative bench is words cannot be enough to understand this kind of information. But this is not true, right? We think words is enough to give you enough information because you can give enough quantity of information, and students understand the language. Students can understand the words, right? For example, when you want to know about the seriousness of murder, you don't have to really see the movie of actual murder, right? But you can understand that how by words you can see murder is bad. Murder creates people's body hurt and etc. You can understand by the words. That's why we don't think that words are. We think words is necessary. Words is enough, and we think video is not necessary. So lastly, okay, next he told us about graphic image is not going to create negative mental harm to children because it is part of education. First of all, crucial failure is he didn't explain any reason why it's why it's part of the textbook, it doesn't give any impact to children. If their argument is true, because we don't think there's no benefits, right? Because children will feel like this is like a math class. This video is just like math class, like boring, right? That's why we don't see any impact if their argument is true. But what we believe is that this is a clear distinguishment. The children will make clear distinguishment between this boring class and this video, because video is extremely very different from this ordinary like math class, right? This video has like a lot of grotesque image like blood or children get damaged, etc. That's why actually there's clear distinguishment. So lastly, he told us about this harm of the abortion, but that's kind of irrelevant, right? Because that's not government decide, right? Whether the abortion should be allowed or not. Because what we're talking about in context is abortion is already allowed, right? In this context, that's why we think the importance of abortion is totally different to person to person. And because clearly benefit of abortion clearly exists for children, we think that it's not true that we should deter them to take abortion. So okay, move on to my first point about So first about AP's AP. So what kind of image we're talking about? It's the image of this process, right? It includes a lot of blood. It includes a lot of, for example, using a knife, cutting your skin and vagina, and actually, getting the baby from your tummy. And this is very grotesque, and this is very influential. This is very impressive, negative impressive, right? So this we think creates negative impact to the children, and children are more likely to get, suffer and feel fearness from this kind of image, right? For example, please imagine the case of March 11th, right? TV company broadcast image of tsunami and people are dying in that situation. And actually, as a fact, many people, not only children, but even adults, get a lot of PTSD and trauma from watching kind of tsunami image, right? We think image has a clear impact and dynamic to the people, especially for children, because they are very sensitive and they are easily influenced, right? So we think this creates negative image to the children. But moreover, we think this creates negative bias discourse between children, right? Because what they talk after they watch this movie, we don't think children is not going to discuss, well, abortion is actually good. Actually, they're going to say it's unbelievable, it's very grotesque. We should never actually do that, because the children cannot consider long-term benefits, right? They are more rather receive this short-term harm and get information strongly and get biased, right? That's why we think they are more likely to have children has more likely to have an idea or common sense that abortion is extremely dangerous, extremely terrible. We should never conduct this kind of thing, because this, especially for children, learn what their children learn from younger age creates their common sense, creates their idea about their society and about their life. That's why we think this is clearly harmful when they get this negative bias idea. Moreover, what's going to happen when children have this kind of fearness, this kind of deterrence? Now they are more likely to difficult to take abortions, right? For example, because they suffer from fearness, it was kind of discourse, because this is too scary. When they cannot do it, it certainly influences their entire life. For example, first of all, they have to give a birth to a child, meaning you have to quit the school, you cannot achieve their dream, you have huge burden on family, maybe, monetary, financially. Life is going to completely change their birth children. Moreover, this creates physical damage to young baby, because this is a huge burden to have a baby in your tummy when you're a child, because this baby is too heavy. This is very huge burden on these young little girls, right? That's why this is certainly a huge damage in terms of physically and in the long term. That's why we think in that case we should protect their choices, because this choice at the end maximize these children's happiness entirely, and we think this is something the government should be responsible for to protect. Anyway, yeah.
A simple question. How would your side attack to today's problem, increasing abortion?
Well, then we will give we will encourage using condom, right? Because condom is the kind of root cause of getting a baby, right? We ban this kind of, we try to provide more condom, and also we also talk about the importance of sex, etc. We think that's enough. So lastly, I want to explain why in the status quo this problem is not happening. Because when we can have rational calculus is when we have fair information without biased ideas, right? Because when you have fair information, you can fairly compare its benefit and harm and make the best decisions, right? Because there's no such negative influence to them. What is happening in the status quo is school provide fair information, right? With the words about getting abortion, benefit of abortion and the harm of abortion. Now these children get this information and compare fairly, right? Moreover, when they actually take abortion, they will go to doctor, and doctor tells you another information, right? That's why we think already clear, fair information is guaranteed to children, and now they can make the best decision for their entire life. Especially for the children, this is the time that they get common sense, and because they are immature and easily influenced, we have to carefully give information fairly. That's the principle of education, as my partner told you. We have to actually have fair information, and for all these reasons, we are extremely proud of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to move on to the web speakers. To summarize this debate, I'd like to invite firstly the government with Rina Natsura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of this House. So we focus, we don't think that educate is make the idea of the children's thinking, that just teach the facts of what's happened in the society or those things. So we focus on those range of the information expressed to needs for children to judge the decisions. So we probably support this motion. So I have three criteria, but before that I have four engaged to what previous speaker has said. So first, before my introduction, the government don't say the abortion is bad or good, just say the how action is abortion. So how occur, so how process or how consequence. So just tell those situations. So but the situation, the understand whose information is just the surfaces of those things. So just say the what harms, like the figure of the children's broken out or those things. Just see those figure or those things. So that just the facts. So government don't say the abortion is bad or those things. And second, the engage is the previous speaker says that the word is enough, but we don't think so. They say like the analogy of the murder cases, just say the murder kill someone kill, but in the news there's not only the in the TV cases there's not only the word but also the movie or the picture or those things. So in this the pictures the humans hand, just the hand or the neck or just is happening. So the people see those figures, then they can think about the mother is bad things, those have their citizens' own thinking, then the mother is bad things. So their analogy is not relevant at this point. Then, and the speaker says about the doctor, the students can go to the doctor, but that is late because after action they go to the doctor. So it means they can't avoid those action or abortion. So it means we don't minimize the harm of what the students have. So this is not important, but we don't focus on this point. And it is not. And the first speaker says that in the education, just see the video. The children is boring, then they don't see the video or those things. But we say that it is not important to children's initiative. Just if we focus on the government or school, how to provide what is the fact or information. So so this motion is good. So the point understand. So sorry. So I show you my criteria to this point. So this is the criteria. First point is about the student and choice of the abortion. And second point about the student's mental harm. And third point about the philosophical level. So let's start. So first point about the student's choice of abortion. So then the previous speaker says that abortion is a controversial issue. So the government don't intervene this point, but we don't think so because even if it's a controversial issue, but students have a right to know what is a controversial issue. So we say that government shows what is the abortion. So not say the abortion is bad or shows the criteria to think about the abortion, but don't say the idea of the abortion. So therefore not to stand. On the other hand, we say that now education is the information is unrealistic because just the words. So students can't imagine because just if you do the sex actions, then there is a high possibility to have a baby if there is no condom. But that is just a word. So they don't think the more deeply things. So if they have the baby, if they don't build the abortion, but the student is think that is the right things. Just baby is killed. But in this motion, there's a graphic, so they can imagine what they're doing. So this imagine makes the choice, makes children have a choice to do the action or do the abortion. But that is the only student's choices, so government not intervene this point. And second point about the mental harm. So they said about the PTSD and tsunamis cases, but tsunamis is not avoided issues, but abortion is avoided issues. So children can think the abortion is avoidable, so they don't do the abortion or those things. But tsunami is can't. So children think that this is unbearable. Then they can have a PTSD like that. But this is not true in this motion, so that's not true. And in philosophical level, they say only the education is a controversial issue, don't do it, or the education is not intervening the government idea. But in my practical criteria, it is not true. So our criteria was education. So why is
Thank you very much, Government Web. Now I'd like to move on to the last speaker, the constructive speeches. Firstly, lastly, I'd like to invite the option web from Sophia A. Asuka Ando.
Government side never explained that why we necessary to discourage abortion for students, especially students, and they never explained about why we necessary in this motion in public school. They never explained this point, and also why, in order to solve this problem, why graphic picture is the best way to solve this problem. But mechanism is very weak. So government bottom proof is graphic picture is only way to understand and calculate cost and benefit about abortion for students. But they never explain this point. But our bottom proof is not. It is not only way. Under Style is many alternative way as my partner already told you that. Because textbook we can learn about many things, and if it is not enough, why not to add many information for them? So their argument is completely not. First of all, I like to repeat for minor issue, and then I like to explain my point. First of all, are you happy for government to manipulate citizens in order to suspect the government ideology? So Western reports, and also Deputy Prime Minister said that under Style students cannot do not experience about abortion, so there is no incentive to learn about those things. They say, but it is not true because students is a very students. It means that 10 or 11 years old, right? So students do not experience everything. Do not vote first of all, but they can learn about those things in a textbook or etc. So their analysis is quite wrong. Let me move on my point. Today I talk about two things. First of all, status quo that students can understand the seriousness of abortion or not. Are they really calculate cost and benefit of abortion or not? And second criteria is after taking proposal, the students can understand the seriousness of abortion or not. Let me move on my first issues about status quo students can calculate or not. These two issues. A, they say that students cannot understand the seriousness of abortion because just textbook is just literature, so they cannot understand this. But they say that. But it is not quite wrong because their premise is all the time without graphic image, we cannot compare the benefit and cost. But their premise is completely no because once students can watch that. Because first of all, human being is not stupid. So with only literature and some picture is not, without reality, we can easy to understand. And also students also can understand because it will lead to the one baby, right? So they can easy to calculate. For example, please look at the situation. Death penalty. Japan have a hanging of this death penalty, but there is no real graphic picture of death penalty. But why we can understand the seriousness of death penalty? Because people, teacher educated for you about after the killing or murder, your neck will hanging out with a rope, and then you will die. We can easy to understand with those literature. So why we without only graphic image, we cannot understand this motion. So the argument is not true. And B, they say that status quo because of lack of education, students cannot understand the seriousness. But the argument, so why not to give more education information for them? For example, status quo abortion. For example, in the textbook, just saying that you might have a risk of baby or etc. However, why not to give information well? For example, with what kind of equipment to use in order to kill the baby, or how to use it, and how many people cannot give a birth again after the abortion or etc. Why not to give more information, more statistics in textbook is enough. So status score students can calculate by themselves, so it's enough. Let me move on my second issue. After taking this proposal that students can understand the seriousness of one motion or not. These 2 points. They say that after taking this proposal, students can calculate, but their root cause is, first level, we will watch the adult video, and second, we will sex, like imitate adult video, and third, we will be pregnant because of sex. Fourth, we will abortion, they say that. But what is the root cause of abortion? Root cause is adult video, right? Why not to ban adult video? And even if we will show the graphic picture for students, adult video will still exist. So some people will watch the adult video again, and some people might be pregnant, and some people will be abortion, right? So I'll even take this proposal, a program will be never solved, so the argument is not true. And B, they say that after taking this proposal, students can completely understand why it is serious to abort, but completely no, because some people fear to see a grotesque killing baby or blood or etc. So some people close your eyes and or blind or frozen like this or etc. So people, why we can say that all students can see that graphic picture directly, without see that we cannot understand as if their logic is true. So after taking this proposal, why we can say that all of students can see directly a graphic picture, and why we can say that all students can understand those harm. But status quo, some people are close eye because it is serious situation. So the argument is not true. So even take this proposal situation as we cannot solve the problem. So rather we will list the students PTSD or etc. because students are immature to understand serious photograph and to understand serious photograph, as my partner Consta is saying that. Because students are immature, they are just 10 years old or 11 years old, right? But they cannot understand completely what the meaning of abortion, and so it is very shocked for them. So it might be listed a PTSD, and it is listed a long-term effect because we cannot solve that PTSD quickly. So we strongly oppose this motion. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, all the speakers. Now I'd like to move on to the reply speeches lastly. First I'd like to invite the Tsubasa to go again to summarize your case within 4 minutes. Here.
Very inconsistent stance from affirmative bench. Those first 2 speakers told us we should deter abortion. Abortion is extremely dangerous. However, whip speaker changed their stance. Well, we never say abortion is bad. We don't do that. But there was actually a clear inconsistent stance about government stance for the abortion. We don't know what they want to protect in the first place. Moreover, they didn't fulfill their burden of proof by proving how after taking this plan, they solved problem. Because there was problem-solution mismatching. And moreover, they didn't explain clear uniqueness of why they have to do in public school. And especially with speakers start talking about right to know is important. But we already told you accessibility is already there, and we think that was a pretty new point. So moreover, we were consistent, right? We told you what public education should be. This is a place that we provide fair ground so that they can actually calculate a benefit and the harm and make the best decision fairly. And we told you our stance is this image is extremely fearful and extremely dangerous, and this crowds rationality of children. That means we are going to limit the children's choice. That's why we oppose this motion today. So 2 issues. First of all, problem exists or not. And second of all, this image, what's the impact of this image? First of all, problem coming from affirmative bench is young people do abortion. and because they had sex without condom. But we gave it an alternative. We told you how, what if we can provide condom more, we can teach more importance of condom, because this condom is extremely 100% important, right? We can do that and we can solve that. There was no counter proposal from affirmative bench for that. And the root cause of the affirmative bench was influence of porn, right? That the Prime Minister told us. We told you how we can force every company to use condom mandatory, or we can, check this porn company not to be so dangerous. So we don't see any necessity to take this plan in the first place. So yeah, so that's why we don't see, yes, problem might exist. Young people do abortion, but that's not the necessity of it in today's case. So next point, which was most clashing, what's the impact of this image? So affirmative bench told us this impact is not going to, first of all, is not going to create mental damage to children. And this is the same as classes. But if that is true, then there's no impact to children, right? As I said, this is a boring class, such as a math class or English class. That's why there's no impact to children. That means children is not going to learn this kind of thing. That's why no benefit is standing because of that, the PM's limitations. So moreover, even if they say, the crucial thing is they didn't explain how this image can actually create and learn the actual seriousness of this abortion and how they will change after taking this one. There was no explanation in the first place. But we are the one who told you, first of all, we are the one who actually analyzed what is the image of this process, right? We told you how this includes a lot of blood and cutting the body and pushing children's heads and killing, how this is grotesque and how this is very fearful. We told you, right? And we told you how this crosses children's rationality in terms of, first of all, individually. We told you because children are very sensitive and immature and easily get influenced and easily get this kind of trauma. That's why we told you how this fearness will cross the children's rationality. Moreover, we told you that how discourse will be against this abortion, right? We told you how children will actually we're not going to discuss about abortion is good or not. They just believe abortion is extremely terrible. That's why we told you how there will be more understanding that abortion is extremely bad, which was never engaged from the affirmative bench. That's why we told you the clear tangible harm coming from when it's very, very difficult to conduct abortion. We told you the tangible harm is that life is completely changed, physical damage, etc. We can win this debate. So, and the clear assumption of affirmative bench is words is not enough. But we told you words is enough because children can understand language and words, easily imagine this kind of thing. The words is enough education, enough quantity, like example, murder, etc. That's why we don't see any problem. We see actually clear harm for children not to make the best decision for their entire life. That's why we want this debate.
Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to invite the government reply from YCUB. I'd like to invite Skill. Close this debate.
Thank you, speakers, and how recent the members' house. The today's operational size government proof is that why give information of risk is interpret the student's opinion. And moreover, the other operation whip or DLO says that if we have to tackle to the increasing abortion, we have to tell the importance of condom. However, Mr. Speaker, why telling importance of condom is not interpretation? For example, for Christian to use condom is passive. However, according to their logic, the government can tell the importance of condom. It is very contradictory. And second, so let's move on. Today, in my speech, I will talk about the other operation with introduction from operation with. There is no necessity to tell about the information of risk. However, according to the operation with, there is other way to tell about to tackle increasing abortion, which is true. If they don't feel necessity to tell dangerousness of abortion, they don't need to provide other way. Therefore, it is very contradictory. So let's move on. Their stance is very vague. Therefore, let's move on to its criteria. I have three criteria. First of all, the government can increase want to see our information about the abortion or not. Option size, it is a controversial issue. Therefore, we don't have to include this criteria. However, we don't force to choose abortion. If students who agree with abortion, they can abortion because we don't ban abortion or we don't forcibly encourage students to do abortion. Therefore, this specific point is not important. On the other hand, outside three centers, if the choice is harmful or have a risk, we have to maximum information to students. Because thanks to this giving the information, the students can avoid the harmful choice. Therefore, on the first level, governments have to give this kind of information. Second, students can understand about the dangerousness from graphic or not. However, their English is very simple. Under certain scope, students can read book, so they can understand when to abortion. If they, however, as I mentioned before that, under certain scope, students have low ability to imagine, because they are imaginary. Therefore, they cannot imagine how seriousness of abortion. However, there is no English. The second one, it is very unrealistic for students because students have a low experience to do sexual action. Therefore, even the dangerousness of sexual action is very unrealistic. However, there is no English. The third one, therefore, they have no incentive to know about dangerousness of abortion. So they cannot know about dangerousness or harmful choice. However, there is no English. So in this point, under certain score, students cannot understand of their seriousness. So it's about my third point. My third point is practical points. Practically, students can be protected or not. As I mentioned before that, under certain score, they cannot calculate abortion because there is a lack of information. So they cannot avoid. Therefore, they have no incentive to do safe sex. After occurring consequence, that means they get necessity of abortion. They know about harm of abortion only after consequence. It is therefore we cannot protect them from harm. However, as a proposal, students can preemptively prevent from necessity of abortion. So therefore, it's a clear benefit. So we call it proposal motion. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all speakers. Now this event is closed. Thank you for your cooperation. Please shake hand and please